All right, we're here with Sasha Daygame, founder of Sasha Daygame Dating Systems and host of the Sasha Daygame podcast. And we are curious, Mr. Daygame, because you are a successful entrepreneur and parents out there are concerned about the school system and they are kind of confused on what to do. So maybe you can share some insights, suggestions from yourself on what you think about the school system and some of the solutions or ideas that might benefit some of the families watching this video.
Hi, parents. How you doing? So, I would say I benefited minorly from the school system. There's a couple of things I benefited from that I learned. Not that much. I mainly learned what not to do and how not to think. What I got out of it, I learned some grammar. I learned a bit of French. I'm from Canada, so I got to learn a little bit of French, which was cool. I learned to write. I learned a little bit to interact with other human beings. And in grade 10, I took a typing course, which is actually the only really, really useful thing where I can actually sit in front of a computer and type fast. Then the only other thing I've really used is like the Pythagorean theorem, a little bit of multiplication tables. That was awesome. But for all that stuff I just said, I didn't really need to go from kindergarten up till age 15 when I left high school. Didn't really need it. I could have done that all in about a year, maybe 2. So, but for the most part, I think school is really, really, like traditional school, like the system that exists now is really, really bad for kids because it restricts their creativity. I think all human beings are born extremely creative, powerful, limitless beings. They're really, really wise. If you really look at kids, they're much smarter and wiser than we are. They know about sharing. They're really nice, most of them. They would never imagine stealing or killing or imposing their will upon others. They're actually really sweet. If they were in charge, we wouldn't have war. We wouldn't have hunger. We wouldn't. Kids understand sharing. They do. I've seen them. They just share. We don't. So the kids are completely destroyed by the educational system as it exists today. It takes away their creativity. It just makes them conform. It makes them memorize things that are mainly useless. And the most brutal part of the current system is the fact that they're taught to submit to authority, the authority of the teachers, the school system, other parents. They're basically, all their power is taken away from them, and they're just taught how to essentially just be robots. You could call it slavery, you can call it whatever. Their free will is just being removed and they learn to obey. That's what the school system was actually created for. You're never going to hear this because you're not supposed to know this, but the school system was actually created to create soldiers. If you really want to do the research, you'll find the research. That's why they needed more soldiers, and they decided if we create a school system and force people to learn certain things our way, it will be easier to create soldiers. Your children are being turned into soldiers, except now it's not soldiers necessarily for war. Some of them will go to war, but mainly economic soldiers. They're being used as economic batteries. They're supposed to just work and pay taxes and save up for their retirement, money that won't be there, of course, by the time they get there, because the government's going to steal that, because that's what governments do. They steal. So that's really what your children are being turned into. Knowing that's the case, and if you do your own research and really come to that conclusion, I believe putting your kids in the normal school system is a crime. It's a crime against the children. It's a crime against humanity. You're not doing the planet the planet will be destroyed the way things are going now, and the children are the only people who can save it. So if you're contributing to the system as it is, and you're continuing to perpetuate a system based on theft and slavery and just destruction of children's freedom and creativity, you are destroying essentially the planet. And that's what you do when you allow your children to go into the system. You're destroying them. You're destroying your relationship with your own children, because they'll never trust you or love you, because you're putting them through that, and you're destroying the planet. That is what the educational system is there for, to indoctrinate children and turn them into slaves. That's the truth as I see it. You can come to your own conclusion. But if you actually look at what's happening in most countries around the world, you'll see that it's actually true. Kids aren't happy. Parents aren't happy. It's not good for anybody. And it's unnecessary these days, because anything you want to learn, you can learn. You can learn independently. There's the internet, anything. And the beautiful thing with the internet is it's selective. You can choose what you want to learn. If your child is passionate about art or history or martial arts or whatever it is, I guarantee you a child that has not been brainwashed and limited I guarantee you that child has at least one thing, probably dozens in most cases, that excite them. Imagine they're able to just pursue what excites them. Imagine a child at 5 goes, I want to learn karate. I want to be the best karate master. And imagine you as a parent put them in a situation where they can pursue exactly what excites them. Imagine how good they'll be at karate by 20. They'll be world class because they're not wasting their time being indoctrinated, learning things they don't want to learn. They'll be doing karate for 15 years. By the time they're 20, they will be teaching karate internationally in their own schools. That's what your child will be. Okay, so it's about giving your child the freedom to choose his own destiny. Let your child decide what they want to do. They're not stupid just because they haven't been around as long as us. They're actually smarter because they haven't been around as long as us, because they haven't been turned into slaves. They're freer than us. Let them be free. They are our only chance to fix this planet. Okay, so it doesn't matter whatever they want to do. Let them do that outside the educational system. There's just no need to put them through that anymore. There's no need. You can just say, hey, what do you like? Let me show you some videos. These are some people playing soccer. These are some people learning, working out and making their bodies nice. These people are learning how to make really healthy shakes and nutrition that are really good for the body, and some of these help your body to heal. These people are artists. Look at them. They like to paint things, and they paint on buildings, and it's very beautiful. These people are mathematics. They're scientists, and they're learning math. And this is like some math puzzles. If you like math puzzles, maybe you would want to do that. And if you just expose them freely to these ideas, whether it be on the internet or interactive games or maybe classes that they go to with other kids, freely, not in the traditional system where they can just go and have a math day or a martial arts day or a ballet day or a English day or a history day, and they themselves can choose what excites them the most, and then you can just allow them to go and do that. What a world it would be if everyone from birth was just allowed to do what they want to do freely. That's education. Education can only happen when you do what you want, when you learn what you want to learn. I've learned so much in my life, and it's always because I was excited about it. I have an education you could not even comprehend. I left school at 15 years old. I have a successful coaching business. I have 8 people who work for my company. I travel all around the world doing whatever I want to. I've changed the world. I've got millions of YouTube views, people watch my videos and they change their lives. You know why? Because I gave myself the permission to pursue what I wanted to pursue, and I did it, and I got good at it, and I shared that message, and it's motivating other people to do what they want to do just because I did. Okay? And you can do that. Your kids can be at least as much more successful than me, because I started at 15. I left the school system and decided to live my life my way. At 15, what if they do it from age 5? They'll make me look like nothing. Your kids will shit all over me. Sorry for the language, but it's true. Okay? Because I started late. Give your kids the opportunity to become who they want to be. This system is not a free system. It is slavery. The educational system is slavery. It destroys children. That is the reality that you will never hear from anybody, but it's the truth. And listening to these words, I know you know it is the truth. If you love your kids, let them be free. That's all I have to say.
The economy is moving so quickly right now, the opportunities are endless.
Sounds interesting. Tell me about that.
Okay. Practically everything in the world has changed. The internet has literally created one big connected world.
That is so true. Technology has come a long way. Even my phone in my pocket is like a computer. My kids love it and are always playing with it.
I think it's something we should try to embrace.
Yeah, but these kind of changes make me really worried about my kids' futures. Aren't you a little bit worried about that?
Honestly, I used to be, but I realize it's about empowering our children, and the options are great. Have you ever heard of unschooling?
Unschooling? No, I don't think I've heard about that.
It's something you should really check out, or maybe even private school.
Where do you learn about this stuff?
I learned about this at the Education Options Expo. It's a really fun, great event where we as parents can learn about the options for our children's educational success.
Sounds great. When and where is this expo?
Saturday, March 25th in San Jose. Doors open at 9 a.m. Come discover the exciting possibilities for your child's education in 2017 and beyond. The Education Options Expo is just a place to find answers to your questions. Are you curious about homeschooling? Would you like to learn about apprenticeships? How about self-directed learning? Is your child interested in rap or other kinds of music? Does your child want to become a leader and create safer neighborhoods? How can students become independent journalists? What is Acton Academy? What is a holistic school? How do you transition from public schooling into homeschooling? These topics and many more will be discussed on March 25th in San Jose. Get your early bird tickets and save now. Plus, there's free parking and free childcare with every ticket. Reserve your seat now and come discover the future of education today.
Hey, I just registered for the expo. Super excited. Yeah, I'll see you there.